Shiny, plastic, black mirror fascist, obsessed capitalist. Are you feeling guilty Catholic? Pretty, picturesque Facebook status, happy family and happy marriage, like the magazine pages, superimposed with Photoshop and happy faces, where cancer doesn't exist, and your daddy lives for ages, and the black babies with the swollen bellies are only moments on your telly until you switch it off and put your makeup on. So walk your dog vegan and put your makeup on, posing perfectly pouting and put your makeup on. Hypocrite, selfie, snowflake nation, not making a difference, not voting, not independence, cause it's irrelevant to how your hair grows. You're pretty, and it's a pity that you're prepared to perpetuate your particulars on Instagram and prefer not to educate it, overcomplicate an avocado, like you know the answers to the problems of this world. Meditation and mindful, how about realistically having kids to feed on minimum wage and suicidal without letting your wife know? Cause I don't kill myself for fashion, not a psycho for the sake of it. Hate the name of it and really ashamed of it. I hate your glossy, double tongue, so in circle, talky, trashy magazine, like Sebastian's dreams. Your friends are just old plastic, and it's lonely out there. I don't care about your implants or artificial intelligence, agony ants, chitty chat irrelevance, designer shirt and pants. So keep on spending, goodbye pretty people, it's such an ugly ending. Keep pretending, keep on telling yourself that you're so important, like everyone else. Pretty people, pretty people, pretty people, pretty people. Pretty people, pretty people, pretty people, pretty people, pretty people. Pretty people, pretty people, pretty people, pretty people. Pretty people, pretty people, pretty people, pretty. Fight for your rights, but you die to lose.
Goodbye, pretty people, I'll miss you. All your little giggling and self-serving circles, self-absorbed, oh shallow surface, all that fucking money and totally worthless, in entirety distractive. A life without purpose, your embodiment is everything wrong, emboldened by a Harvey Nicks arrogance, echo chamber, industrial multiplier, factory line features and adjusted plastic artifice, cosmetically cybernetic immortality activist agents. Away with your moisturizing skin armor nonsense, swigging beard lotion against a Georgian backdrop. One sleeves tops are a symptom of civilization in decline. Beggars rocking £100 traders with metallic shell toes. Designer baby accessories with perfect lips and a pre-birth sense of what looks fucking fabulous. It's ridiculous, marvelous, purebred, beautiful offspring of the embassy, laughing at the wannabes that think that greed is power. The hours tick by, I know you want is everything endless. You are now living in the culture with a locust consumer, target population, proof of fashion, housing, online grooming saloons. Pretty predator class, deadly privilege picking flesh from the populace fast. The terrorist victim look is this year's heroin chic. Superior models to snap them pop-up bomb sites, pop-up prescription antidepressants, propping on them rearranged in artistical splatter patterns. Little ray of ignorant exception at the tipping point. You're dragged to the ground by the teeth of natural selection. We defecate upon your form, prone upon your back and bleeding in round the scissor man. Snicker, snack. Your entrified empathy, ultimately empty, dead heart, pretty face, piss upon your memory.
Pretty people, pretty people, pretty people, pretty people. Pretty people, pretty people, pretty people, pretty people, pretty people. Pretty people, pretty people, pretty people, pretty people. Pretty people, pretty people. Pretty people, pretty people, pretty people, pretty people. Pretty people.
What is up? Welcome everybody to another Sleuth Intuition Live. It's 8 o'clock sharp where I'm at here in the Southwest. You know where to find me. I want to thank everybody for joining us. Looks like we have some new members. Mary Jo 85. Welcome. Make sure you go jump in the members only. Introduce yourself. if you haven't already. Melissa B, thank you. I held off on the members only. I didn't know if I could take on that kind of responsibility, but it's actually more my style. Jill Moser, Boots on the Ground, our source, our Delphi source. She is a plethora of information. Abby Duncan, thank you for the super sticker. I'm telling you, I'm going to figure out what to do with these donations. I told you I already bought a knockoff GoPro. It's actually pretty cool. It's like $90. Go on Amazon. It seems pretty legit. Good alternative. Okay. So we have a pretty good little live stream lined up here. I have a special treat for you. Since we're going to be talking about the whole True Crime Garage Subaru jacket, seems to be going around. So, I mean, we might as well touch on it. That's what we do here, right? We like to cover the Delphi case. This is pertaining to the Delphi case. The poll says, let me see here. I got the results. The poll was True Crime Garage recently released info regarding the jacket stating Subaru related. The options were could be solid, reckless speculation. Let's hear them out. So we had 81 votes, and it looks like you guys, the majority wanted to hear them out. I'm undecided. I'm not here to decide those things. I love to speculate. I love to theorize, but you'll never hear me say, well, yeah, that's 100%. Unless I trust you, we're talking behind the scenes and I'm really just talking to myself out loud. You know how when you speculate alone, you're coming up with all these theories. Jamie Harold, you didn't have to do that. Really appreciate that. Okay. Ophelia Payne in the house. I hope you figured them out. Annie, my favorite. Yours looks green. Yours is green. I don't know why you can't see it. You're looking green over here. All right. Well, let's get this party started. So since we're going to talk about the jacket and how apparently there's something tying it to possibly being a Subaru issued jacket there in Lafayette. So before we get into that, I stumbled across something I thought was very interesting. It was the jacket. They finally released the exact jacket that Thomas Jerome Bruce wore. And I found an updated article, which led me to Michael Catt. And then I thought it would be pretty cool to play a video about Michael Catt, Thomas Jerome Bruce, the evidence that we have leading to him. Because remember, he wasn't wanted for any crimes prior until after the Delphi case, when he did the whole Catholic supply murder, and I think it was like a sodomy or something. It was something really bad. Let's take a look here. Well, I mean, I could sit here in the chat all day. You guys are going off, but let's jump right into it. We're going to start with Michael Catt here. We're going to go into his video. He's basically trying to convince us or compel us of how interesting Thomas Jerome Bruce is. And it's a funny story because that's how I met Michael Catt, was my interest in Thomas Bruce. And we shared probably a good handful of emails back and forth, theorizing, discussing, sharing everything. Still do. But as soon as I set up my Sleuth Intuition YouTube channel, for some reason, me and him just butted heads. So I kind of went my separate way. But let's take a look. Rest in peace, Michael Strout.
In this video, I wish to cover what I was looking for in the Delphi suspect, and how that connects to Thomas Bruce. Thomas Bruce is my suspect in the Delphi murders for reasons to be presented in this video. Things I was looking for in the Delphi suspect. 1. The suspect likely owned handguns, or had access to someone else's handguns. The reason is, from the first days of seeing the suspect's pictures on Monon High Bridge Trail, I assumed he had a handgun to create duress in the girls and stop them from screaming for help or running away. 2. The suspect had never committed a crime before.
It's just one of those situations when we got a case that this person's never apparently committed a crime before. We have,
You would feel that he had never committed a crime, he has no DNA in the database?
Well, I can't comment on that, but I'm just saying that's what it looks like. I mean, it's a possibility he's done something, but we can't find no traces of it.
That was
He had never been jailed in his past. 3. I thought the suspect was familiar with Monon High Bridge trails. 4. The suspect would resemble the Delphi sketch. 5. The suspect will not have blue eyes. 6. The suspect had reddish-brown hair. 7. He would sound like the suspect saying down the hill. 8. The suspect was free to travel in the middle of the day. 9. I thought the suspect was more local, within 25 miles from Delphi, and was probably not a serial killer. I thought that this was likely his first kill. Thomas Bruce connections. 1. He committed first-degree murder and sodomy upon 2 other women in the middle of the day in St. Louis on November 19, 2018. 2. He was dressed like Bridge Guy when committing this homicidal crime in St. Louis. 3. He looks like the sketch. 4. He owned handguns. 5. He had never been caught committing a crime before and had never been jailed. 6. He has a brother that lives in Fort Wayne, Indiana. 7. Google Map Directions gives 2 routes from his previous address to Fort Wayne, Indiana. One is the I-70 route. The second is the Hoosier Heartland route, taking Highway 25 by Monon High Bridge Trail. 8. At the time of the Delphi murders, Thomas Bruce was having financial issues and had filed bankruptcy the month prior in January of 2017. 9. He resigned from his job shortly after filing bankruptcy, the end part of January to the first part of February 2017. 10. He drinks, then commits crimes. He was pulled over for acting and driving insane on the highway. He was drunk at this time, slurring his words, and went home without a ticket or a DUI. 11. He had been at a nightclub, a couple doors down from the Catholic supply store, before committing first-degree murder there. He had been drinking prior. His personal email begin with proud of his ancestry, which is Scottish. Dustley, his reddish brown hair, does not have blue eyes. 14. His voice sounds like the Delphi suspect in the Down the Hill audio.
And you do not work for me.
15. His hair color, which was last seen as shaved and gray in color, when longer has a different appearance. His ancestry is Scottish, and his natural hair color, when grown out, has a reddish tinge to a darker brown color, which will be seen when he next appears in court. I will end this video by saying the reason he has not had murder charges filed against him is because they want a confession. Believe as you like, but that is fact. They want to talk with Thomas Bruce and get his confession of every murder he's committed, and there are some I am sure that we have no clue of. The prosecutor in Carroll County is new. He has never prosecuted a murder case in his life. In this case, once it gets, this will be his only murder case to prosecute, and I'm sure more in Carroll County believe he also committed the MO is used more on those. In my next video, I will lay out how I believe it may have occurred, given the facts that I have presented in this video. Peace.
Peace. Peace out, Michael Cat. All right. And this is the news article right here. And that's why I'm starting with this. It really wasn't related to what I wanted to cover, but it kind of ties in a little bit, and you'll see why. But let's look at this. So this is one of the latest reports on Thomas Jerome Bruce.
Responsible for the Catholic supply store shooting will be spending the rest. Now it has an exclusive look into the.
Last week, St. Louis County Prosecutor Wesley Bell closed one of the biggest cases of his career.
We were going to bring justice to these families.
On Friday, 55-year-old Thomas Bruce pleaded guilty to first-degree murder, admitting in court he sexually assaulted two workers in the Catholic supply store in Baldwin before killing customer Jamie Schmidt when she refused his commands.
Killing her didn't seem to affect him at all. Anyone who can do that, there's a special place in hell for those individuals.
The I-Team got an exclusive look at the evidence that put Bruce behind bars. Investigators were able to connect Bruce to the crime initially because of this business card given to a worker at a bar next to the crime scene. That was enough to get a search warrant for Bruce's home in Imperial. There, investigators found the murder weapon and a distinct hat the victims remembered him wearing. Among the evidence, a glimpse into Bruce's home life. Bible quotes on the wall, lottery tickets on his desk. In the garbage behind the home, more of Bruce's clothing, where investigators would find crucial DNA evidence linking him to the crime.
IDs, fingerprints, DNA, ballistics.
Despite overwhelming evidence, life without parole was the maximum sentence Bruce faced.
Cases, it seems they don't get much worse than something like this. And yet the death penalty was never an option.
You have to keep in mind there's a higher scrutiny with respect to appeals in death penalty cases. Many of them don't end in death.
Shortly before pleading guilty, Bruce told the court he had bipolar disorder and depression. Bell says he doesn't buy it.
But there's no evidence supporting that there's any mental health issue that contributed to him committing this crime other than his decision to do this.
Bruce is now preparing to head to his new home, a maximum security Missouri prison. Bell says the survivors and their families consider that justice.
And we do this job to bring justice. And in this case, we were able to do that.
Now, investigators believe Bruce may be connected to other murders, most notably the 1985 murder of a Tennessee woman. We've also learned the FBI was investigating Bruce. They won't confirm whether that investigation is still active. For the I-Team, PJ Randhawa, 5 on your side.
I thought that was interesting, especially the jacket. The pieces of information here. Let me pull these up real quick. Let me share my screen. Okay. So first thing that was interesting to me was the hat. I was like, what the hell? The gun. And the reason it made tonight's live, this jacket. Oh, are you saying my audio is bad? Try to stay close. I try to keep it down because I never know when the dogs are going to just start barking. If they hear anything. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if he's bridge guy. There's nobody puts him there, but I thought it was strange. You know, those pieces of that hat, it kind of reminds me of the older looking sketch. That jacket is very close. It's just very strange. And then his MO of kind of lurking during the day. But anyway, let's get into the Subaru jacket. Okay. So I actually did go crime garage Insta. They posted this in one of the in the comments that they posted. I'm gonna take a look at the chat, leaving the whole Thomas Bruce topic here. Carol, she's talking about the blue eyes. I've actually heard Kelsey. She said it. She was doing an interview and she was kind of going through the list of what they're looking for and the evidence they have, and she says flat out, he doesn't have blue eyes. So sorry about that. If that was really loud, I apologize. What's up, Zen? Who's that? Thomas Bruce? Yeah, I mean, it's still fresh. He just got convicted not too long ago. So if he is tied into the Delphi stuff, I mean, I don't know how he would be tied into the whole Anthony Shots portion. And we're going to get into that as well. To a very specific part of the whole Anthony Shots information. Okay, so let me share my screen. None of this is video. This is just some stuff I tried to collect. I tried to do my best to find everything, but it was really just regurgitated on all social media. Okay, so let's start with this. Can you guys read that? Let's go full screen on it. So this is what True Crime Garage posted on all of their social media. And I am part of their fan page as well on Facebook, and I found it there as well. You kind of have to go searching for it, but it was there. It says True Crime Garage. The picture jacket featuring the Subaru company logo is believed to be linked to Bridge Guy of the Delphi murders case. Investigative sources have identified the jacket as belonging to Bridge Guy. It's alleged that he worked for Subaru or had connections with an employee of the aforementioned. The jacket is not available to the general public as merchandise. It's classified as company attire. True Crime Garage have been liaising with various sources and as a result, other items have come to the forefront. More evidence and leads in the case are expected to surface. So that's basically the message they put out. Let's see. Duke Nukem, Sleuth, did you see what Gray Hughes posted earlier about the coat? No. What did he say? I'm sure he's done his digging. He loves to debunk stuff. So if you can debunk it, he's probably already done so. Honestly. That's his thing. It's like, I'm going to debunk that shit. That's the part of Gray that I like. The investigative part. Duke, if you can share some more information, or one of the mods, maybe we can get a link. Maybe we'll take a look. Let's see. Inquisitor 1313, misinformation because they posted an image of a WRC Rally Subaru jacket. Yeah, that wasn't the real jacket. I actually started receiving information today about the real jackets that are actually issued. People from the company that issue Subaru in Indiana and Lafayette reached out in my Facebook group and were giving me information about it. So I was talking to somebody from the company that ships. Not only do they ship, come to find out they actually do the cleaning. And it's all basically inventoried. So somebody, they're missing some cleaning. That was brought to my attention by Essay. That was brilliant. And what's funny is after Essay said it, creepy Bridge guy said the same thing. The guy that tries to act like Bridge Guy in our chat. He was talking about that stuff too. So it's definitely that's like a rally jacket or a windbreaker. Here, we'll take a look at some of the examples that they actually sent me. So I'm going to close this. Well, let's take a look at this first. This is also an image that was posted by True Crime Garage. So this is not the same jacket as what they're showing in the other image. I don't know why they're putting the two and two together. Maybe it's just to give you an idea. I'm not sure. Hopefully they'll be speaking on that fairly soon. Todd says, yo, does the Subaru jacket have the barrel clasp at the collar that typically are used with bungee cords on jackets? You're talking for like radios or certain pieces of equipment that you might latch onto your shoulder. Yeah. That's a good question. A lot of engineers and construction workers, they got to attach a lot of pieces of equipment. A lot of people don't really understand, including myself. Oh, there's Essay. Oh, yep. Great perspective by the one and only. And I did verify that, which is amazing. So you are now a reliable source, in my opinion. Okay. So this is the one they posted. Let's take a look at the ones that were sent to me by people claiming to work for the company that ships employee-only jackets and then have been issued the same jackets. So let's start with right here. So apparently it's an Aramark jacket. Now, this comes in from what I understand, 3 different styles. Here's one, but they all come with this pocket on the left arm. But some have a collar, and then some they don't have this elastic at the endings here, like on the waist and the wrist areas, like the cuff areas. But it's more of a like you can pull a strap and tighten it and like fasten it around this area. So here's one style. This is actually somebody's personally were issued this jacket. And I was told that it changes colors the older it is. The older it is, the more purple it may appear. Okay. So I just received some information on what Gray Hughes is talking about this jacket. Let's take a look what he's talking about. This is from Gray Hughes. There is a rumor going around that the killer in the Delphi case is in fact wearing a Subaru windbreaker. A source in law enforcement in the case messaged me, no, when asked if there's any truth to it. I think he is wearing polka dot underwear, but I just can't be sure. That last part was a little off-putting. But I see what he's trying to say. Doesn't mean you got to joke about it, but that's just me. So we're not here to say whether or not Bridge Guy is wearing a Subaru jacket. We're here to tell you what type of Subaru jackets are issued and are not for public sale or public purchase, according to these people. So here is another version. I mean, what do you guys think? Yeah, it seems like matty or like more of a canvas texture, like a Dickies or something. So there's that version. And then here was the one I found. And then there was also, actually, I found a couple. Nope, no, not that one. This one right here. This one actually says Subaru. So I'm not sure. That's just something that I found. And then also, let me see if I can load up this little video right here. Little educational video for you. Oh, we got a new member. Michelle Boomgarden. Welcome. That's awesome. Oh. I must have cut that video short. All right, let me see what else I got. No, that's it. On the Subaru stuff, so let's talk about that before we go into some information on Kegan Kline that I wanted to cover. And if you want to call in, send me an email. Now would be a good time. We're going to segue from the Subaru information right into some pieces of the affidavit and Kegan Kline. So if anybody wants to call in, shoot me an email and I'll send you a link. Awesome. What's up, Brad? Welcome. TTM, how you doing? Welcome, everybody. So, let me just pull up my email real quick. Well, let's just jump right in. If anybody, like I said, if anybody wants to call in, you have my email. Let me share my screen here. That way I can zoom in on certain things. Actually, let's take a look at this real quick. Now, this was a Facebook post that's been kind of circulating. Was dated February 26, 2017. Says it was posted in Liberty German and Abigail Williams, the Facebook group. It says, okay, I'm weirded out. This is probably just a sign that I'm paying too much attention to this case. But I went to Liberty's Instagram yesterday and noticed that a really strikingly attractive teenager had liked a couple of her posts. I back searched his profile before and it was of an old photo of a male model, not a real person, as he was claiming to be. But he claimed to have just moved to Lafayette. His profile was private and a typical phishing profile, but he only had like 50 followers. Today, the likes from him are gone, and either his name is changed or he's deleted his profile. I'm sure the FBI has already read all of their social media networking interactions, but I just really wish I'd saved this profile name or emailed it to the sheriff or something. Bam, Anthony Schatz was most likely what she was referring to. Oh, yeah, I guess I got to give my email out. It's sleuthintuition@gmail.com. I said sleuthintuition@gmail.com. Yep, Sammy, I thought that was extremely interesting. Yeah, that's what I was talking with Fig. He was emailing me. We were talking about it, and I think it was Fig. I could be mistaken. But I was like, man, if it is, let's say it is a Subaru jacket, Carol. That facility is so large, like really, like the percentages on that, they're not in our favor. So what I think I want to do, I'm going to read the first 3 pages of the affidavit, and then I'm going to skip a few pages, and we're going to talk about some things. And if you have any information about this, please share, because there was a ton of information that was circulating, and now I can't find it. So we're going to see what's going on with that. Okay, so this is page 1. Probable cause affidavit. I'm going to try to keep up with the chat here. Okay. Looks like it's dated February 25th, 2017. 67 East Canal Street, Peru, Indiana. And that's actually what his address pops up as if you search him. Okay, the undersigned says on February 25th, 2017, the Indiana State Police and Federal Bureau of Investigation executed a search warrant while working an ISP case. The FBI sent information to the ISP Cyber Crimes Unit that an adult male was soliciting female juveniles utilizing the social media platforms Snapchat and Instagram. The adult male was using the username Anthony_shots. Subpoenas were sent to Instagram and Snapchat for the Anthony_shots account information. The Instagram and Snapchat returns provided Comcast IP addresses. I'm assuming that's what you guys use in Indiana, Comcast. A subpoena was sent to Comcast for the IP addresses associated with the Anthony_shots account, and they returned to undisclosed in Peru, Indiana. The Instagram subpoena advised that Anthony Shots account was registered on 7/20 of 2016, and the Snapchat return advised the account was registered on 7/14, 2006. On February 25th, 2017, at approximately 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the search warrant was executed on a residence of ISP, FBI, and Peru Police Department. So, I mean, that's major. And right here, I'm assuming this is Kegan's father. Kegan's father and his son, Kegan Anthony Kline, were located in the residence. At approximately 12:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, withheld was interviewed by ISP Sergeant Kunstek and FBI Special Agent Willman. I mean, that's got to be his father. Was read his rights and agreed to speak with investigators. Confirmed they had Comcast as their internet provider, and it was a secured network. He also told investigators that Kegan did use Instagram and Snapchat. Trying to throw him under the bus. At approximately 1:25 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Kegan Kline was interviewed by ISP Sergeant Kunstick and FBI Special Agent Willman. Kegan was read his rights and agreed to speak with investigators. During Kegan's interview, he initially denied creating the fake social media accounts and talking to underage girls. So we all know this information here. Let's see. Kegan stated he talks to girls he knows personally and girls he doesn't know personally. Kegan stated he meets girls on Instagram. He said he knows the age of the girls he communicates with because he talks to them. Kegan stated if a girl told him she was 16 or under, he wouldn't care and would still talk to them. Kegan told investigators. So let's go to page 2. He finds girls on Instagram and then tells them to talk to him on Snapchat. So he plays like shadow games. Okay, let's take a look here. Kegan admitted to speaking to approximately 15 girls that were underage and advised he probably received pictures from every one of them. He advised he saved their pictures to his gallery. During his interview, Kegan stated he was fucked and he should have left. Kegan advised he packed another bag and took it to Las Vegas. His father and Kegan returned from Las Vegas on February 25th. He stated he was going to leave when his dad was asleep. Kegan told investigators the main phone he uses is a white iPhone 5C. Okay. So before I continue, let me jump into the chat. I know I'm missing a ton. Oops, so you guys caught that early. That's good. Big Bird. sleuthintuition@gmail.com. Beesney says, is Subaru subject to employment law if they're a foreign trade zone? They probably lease employees, right? It is a foreign trade zone. Julian Powell was trying to educate me on how that works there. So he says it's a big deal. Extra security and stuff. What's that? Watch the SOTU and it put me to sleep. I don't know what that is. SOTU. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Okay. State of the Union. Yeah, I ignored it on purpose. Right when I was going live, it popped up. It was like, would you like to watch the State of the Union? I'm like, hell no. So I can watch some blabbering idiot try to pull me into a world war. Good thing he's a bitch. He's probably scared of Russia. Vote Trump back in and we'll put them right back in their place. Like they were before he was voted out by a bunch of liberals. No offense. If I'm talking about you, this is not a political channel, but I am kind of political. Okay, let's continue on with this here because I got a point to make. After Kegan's interview, he was polygraphed at the Peru State Police post by Sergeant Matthew Collins. Kegan and Sergeant Collins spoke about the incident. Kegan told Sergeant Collins the girls range from 15 to 17. I'm just going to jump right in. I don't want to bore you guys with this. So many channels have beat that horse, till it actually found water and drank it. This is the part I want to talk about. There were numerous usernames and email addresses located on the phone, including, withheld. There were many chat conversations recovered from the device. Several conversations appeared to be with a female teen approximately 12 or 13 years old. Undisclosed. The user also used two profiles, Kegan Kline and Emily Ann, Kegan's stepsister. Now, this is the part that I wanted to talk about. To communicate with female teens. Conversations were found on the device where Emily discussed how she had sex with Kegan and his father at the same time. There were multiple CSAM and erotica media files found and saved to the device. The files were named and indicate the images were captured by screenshot and or received from Snapchat or Skype. Many of the CSAM files depicted female children approximately 12 to 17 years old. They're posing nude and or partially nude and or performing a sex act on themselves. More still images depicting possible drugs and drug paraphernalia were found on this device. Internet web searches were recovered on this device. And here's a list of some things that were redacted. So, I mean, this guy is disgusting. But is he a killer? That's the part I just don't know. But we are reaching the hour mark, so if we're not going to receive any calls, we're going to hang out in the chat, kind of talk about the things that we brought up. Like I said, anybody right now is welcome to call. We can take maybe one or two. Email me first, of course, at sleuthintuition@gmail.com. And we'll go ahead and throw up some of these jackets up here. So Mary Ellen agrees. Jerry says Trump 2024. Shauna Lee says it was a room full of creeps. Pelosi's teeth were falling out of her mouth. Well, we got to remember this country is kind of divided, by a left and a right. So you got to try your best to be try to be polite, I guess, to the other side. You got to lead by example. I'm starting to learn that, especially when you're dealing with politicians. You know what I mean? Got to show the way. CD says, at Sleuth, he made it well known we aren't looking to fight the Russians. All I know is Slava Ukraine, UA, they are kicking ass. It's like a little man fighting a giant military. What military? This is like a super small operation by Russia. And that's even the propaganda that's coming out of Ukraine. Russia is not invading Ukraine as much as they want you to believe that. Russia is sending a very small armed force. Basically, it's almost like a real-time exercise in a way. This is nothing. This is like a warning. Speaking of Anthony Shots, in my opinion, was Libby. Yeah, it could be very possible. And that brings me to another point. The Emily Ann 45 it's said to have been also the name of his stepsister. Also, Kegan had a gun. pictures of himself holding a gun. So Jill, you say he lured the girls. Yeah. But if it's not Kegan, he gave his hair, he gave his DNA. If it's not that guy, then how is he connected? Because it's almost like even if he gave his hair and his DNA, that almost clears him and his dad because they would be tied. The DNA would tie them together. It'd be a dead giveaway. So those two are not the killers. If the DNA is right, if we know anything, if we can remember anything from the John Benet Ramsey case, if you remember that case, the DNA, like it came back, like years after the fact that it wasn't even the right DNA. So they were, when it was the most important time for investigators to be getting things right, they had it all wrong. And we all heard Tobe. He was asked by that journalist, "Do you have the killer's DNA?" And he said, "We don't know." Very upsetting to hear that. Yeah, I don't know what her name was, but that is the email address apparently for the stepsister. Here, let me pull this up. Maybe it even says it here. Oh, I think I already read that part. Sorry. All right. So let me close this out here and we'll hang out in the chat for maybe 10 more minutes. Go ahead and play let's play the original motion and load it up. Yeah, that Luke Jobs guy. So you're connected to him? I have a feeling Luke is connected to Google as well. I know there's a Luke who is a local guide who took some photos of the Delphi cemetery. Even JP mentioned him. I don't know if they know each other, but that is a small world. If it's the same Luke. Oh yeah, CD for sure. I really wanted to watch it. If my live wasn't starting, I actually probably would have watched it. And I probably will watch it as soon as we're done here. So I can see what kind of mess our politicians are trying to get me into. Okay. All right, we're at the hour mark. Because of time, we're going to finish up here in the chat. I didn't have anything really special for you guys. Those are the topics I wanted to go over. Make sure I'm staying busy here, talking about the topics that come up. Whether or not we agree with them, I'm not here really on this channel to agree with it or disagree with it. I just want to talk about it and just really bounce ideas off each other. No, I'll take a look at that, Jill. Thank you. Yes, I have been watching them. Yeah, I've been watching them before that was even the name of the channel. Oh, yeah, the Jerome Weiss stuff. That was very interesting. Yeah, I'd appreciate it, man. I'd like to hear from you. What? Todd, do I believe the 2017 press conference audio says bitch down the hill? No. That's the first I've ever heard of that. Sounds like you've been hanging out around Reddit. No offense, Reddit. It's where I found the Thomas Jerome Bruce video. Wow, that's in poor taste. Yeah, I watch WapTech. He's an interesting dude. All right, guys. So I think that's going to end it for tonight. It's kind of short, just 1 hour, but that's typically what I like to do. Wanted to address the whole Subaru stuff, get your feedback. Apparently, there were some words spoken by Gray. Everybody has an opinion. Is it a troll account? But like I said, I went to the Instagram, I went to the Facebook fan page, I went to Twitter. It was all the same. And for my members only, we will be meeting at the same time tomorrow. And that one's going to be exciting. Can't wait to see you guys there. For my subscribers who participated in the chat, I really appreciate it. We'll keep you posted. We'll always talk about any updates and see what's going on with the Delphi news. We all know here on this channel, Sleuth Intuition, that's the case that we're mostly focused on and that we try to put all our energy in. Maybe not all the time, but that's the one that's most important to us now until it's solved. So I want to thank you guys.